My name is Tim Moy. I'm one of 3 automotive instructors at Moraine Park Technical College. Because of COVID-19, I'm stuck at home like most of you. And so I figured, why not do some videos to see if I can help some people out with some car care service. And so my intention today is to show you a few things that maybe have helped you. That way you wouldn't have to take some minor things in to get prepared, that you can maybe take care of those things yourself. So stay safe and stay at home. I'm here to talk about wiper service. How many of you have replaced wiper blades before and or do have some noise complaints, some chattering concerns or streaking? So I'm here to kind of show you how you might be able to replace some wiper blades and proper glass cleaning techniques. So first of all, vehicles are different, and so how you access the wiper blades, some vehicles like this one right here, the wipers are right up and accessible. You can actually just lift the arms up. Many vehicles will have this raised service point, if you will. You'll see a lot of people that do this in the wintertime when there's snow and ice on the windshield. You can put your wiper up like this to be able to service it. So I'm going to show you how, to give you a better angle, to show you how you take these off. On this one here, there's a button right in here. You press the button and you slide it out and then just kind of wiggle it out. And that's all there is to it. This is called the beam type wiper blade. It's the most common nowadays. It's been around for almost 10 years now. And in order to install them back in, you just push it back in, and I'll show you that in a second. But the other thing I want to comment on before I put this back in is my recommendation is that you would go to the dealership and get a factory, an OE, original equipment wiper blade. They're going to be much simpler and easier to install. Yes, they may be a little bit more expensive, but I would highly recommend that you at least price the difference. I have worked in a parts store before, and so I know what they're like, and they're good. The dealer ones are going to be the best. But when you go to the auto parts stores, is this part right in here is going to be different. And usually there's like 3 different clips and that they ship with the blade. And you have to know which parts go where. And the other thing that it does is once you do figure out how to assemble it all, and they have directions with them, but once you figure out which adapters you need and you get them all clipped in, and you go to put it in, it may not fit in quite the same way. And the other thing that happens is oftentimes this part is built up a little taller on the aftermarket ones. So if I put these down and I try and demonstrate what I'm talking about, if this gets raised up just a little bit, just this much, there's a spring underneath this wiper arm that keeps tension on the wiper blades as it goes across the windshield. At low speeds, driving around town, that's not a big deal, but at high speed, when you have a lot of wind pushing these wiper blades off, that spring tension is very important. And so if you get an aftermarket wiper blade that actually raises this blade up just a little bit, it changes the spring tension on here. It can change the characteristics of how that windshield wiper is going to drag across the windshield and keep your glass clean. So for that reason, that's why I recommend the dealer one or the OE. But the aftermarkets are good, but that is an issue. Another thing to be doing when you're doing glass cleanings or windshield service is to actually clean the windshield. First of all, let me backtrack and say that how often should you replace these wiper blades? I would recommend here in Wisconsin that you do it almost annually. You can sometimes get by going every other year. The winter time is what tears these things up the worst. When you run these wipers over the snow and ice, that is an abrasive and it's going to wear out the rubber on the wiper blades. In the summertime, what do we have? We have bugs. Bugs are a soft, gooey material. It's not going to damage the wiper blades, but it creates a buildup on the wiper blades, on the rubbers themselves underneath here. So you need to clean the glass. Another reason why you need to clean the glass is if you run your cars through self-service car wash. What is one of the last things that go on after you get the soap and the rinse is a wax. That wax is a buildup that gets onto the windshield and will cause the wiper blades to chatter or kind of stick to the windshield. And it's a good idea to remove all of that and get down to the clean glass. So there's 2 different types of glass cleaners out there. One is like this Windex brand. It's an alcohol base, a blue fluid that you spray on. You might want to come around over here, hon, and look and show this. It's going to look like that. It's just going to be kind of a foamy, a little bit of a white liquid on there, as opposed to an aerosol type can that does a foaming. Now, I worked for a manufacturer dealership for many years, and they actually came out with a technical service bulletin that recommended a foaming type glass cleaner. So I went out, or my wife has gone out and bought me glass cleaner just for my vehicles. We may use this for on the household, on windows and mirrors, stuff like that in the house. But on my cars, I use the foaming glass cleaner. This stuff is, I think, a little bit more expensive. But what I will often do, and I can demonstrate it right now, is I will actually take this and spray my entire windshield, and I'll go right over what we just did here, and I'll let it soak in a little bit. I'm going to just take a paper towel just for ease, and then I'm going to clean this all off, and I'm going to have this up in here as well. And when I get all done with this, I'm going to actually take this wet paper towel and rub or clean off the wiper blades themselves. So as I clean this all off, then, not being perfectly, showing you the perfect way of doing this, but then I might take this and with the wetness, actually wipe off the rubber portion. And sometimes you'll see the dirt come right off of this. And that can help take off that bug guts, the bug debris that comes in the summertime, and our wax film that gets on there. And you may have to do this 2 or 3 times. If you haven't done this in a while, and your wipers are pretty noisy and streaky, you may have to clean the glass multiple times. 2 to 3 times sometimes. So. That's it for glass service, windshield wipers. Use factory windshield wiper blades if you can. If you got the aftermarket, they're okay, but just be aware that there's going to be some extra parts there that you're going to have to assemble to get those clipped in. And then clean the windshield glass, and then clean the rubbers if these are used wipers. If you're putting new ones on there, obviously you don't need to clean them. So, another important reason why we want to make sure our windshield is clean is a lot of cars nowadays have cameras on them. This one's got a camera right in here for adaptive cruise control, in the beginning of some self-driving, what we call advanced driver assist systems, or ADAS. They're going to have cameras on here. So this car's got a camera right here. Laura, if you want to follow around over the other vehicle. And this vehicle has 3 cameras right up in the front, as well as a wiper or a water sensor up on top for rain sensing for automatic wipers. So these wiper blades actually have to come up over the top of the camera to actually clean the glass. So if you're often wondering why one side has a longer wiper blade than the other, or vice versa, it's because of the orientation of how they have those wiper blades coming up over the windshield, so that way they make sure that they cover the camera, that the wiper blade actually goes over the camera. So I'm guessing on a lot of future vehicles with cameras on them, you're not going to see the wipers that go like this anymore, because they can't cover the center of the windshield. So if you've ever noticed that some vehicles have wipers like this and they sweep up like this, well, that leaves the dead spot right up in the middle where cameras might be. And so, it's just something to be aware of or to know about. So that'll be all.